We feel that it is important to have a crossing guard, not to take them by the hand and walk them across the street, but to help manage the traffic so that the kids can actually cross.
What began as a routine walk to class has turned into a campaign for safer streets. Parents at Royal West Academy in Montreal are petitioning for school crossing guards near busy intersections by the school after a student was struck by a car in October 2024 while walking to school.
One of the parent actually of the child who was hit is an emergency room physician at the Children's Hospital, and she looked into some statistics at the hospital, and it seems to be that kids over 12, like from 12 to 17, are actually at a bit more risk because they're walking independently, they don't have anyone with them, they're still cognitively developing, they can still be quite small in some instances, and they're still learning about how to make judgment calls, how to assess risk.
Parents say the intersection of Westminster Avenue South and Ainsley Road is especially dangerous because it is located near a level train crossing where they say about 96 trains pass daily, many during rush hour. They say traffic congestion, driver frustration, and the lack of a traffic light at the 4-lane intersection increases the risks for students crossing in large groups. However, under rules from Quebec's Automobile Insurance Board, the SAC, children aged 12 and over are considered adult pedestrians, which means secondary school students are not eligible for school crossing guard protection. That service is reserved for children aged 5 to 12.
To us, it almost felt like this was maybe an afterthought even, and maybe something that needed to be looked at again.
In a written response, Montreal police told City News they're following the SAC guidelines. They also mentioned that the intersection does not qualify for the presence of a school crossing guard under the current rules. Moreover, it is not considered to be accident prone. They say that since 2020, there have been only 3 collisions, only one involving a pedestrian at this intersection. The other 2 concern hit and runs that occurred completely outside school hours, but parents are still pushing for safety.
In one of our meetings with Desiree McGraw, our local MNA, she suggested that we could consider doing a petition to change this.
Parents launched a petition calling on provincial authorities to revisit the rules for assigning school crossing guards, including at high-risk intersections near high schools. The campaign highlights what parents call a gap in current regulations, with the goal of keeping high school students safe as they walk to and from school.
We have around about 700 or 800 signatures right now. We have until February 20th. At that point it will be presented in the National Assembly and the government can decide whether or not to follow up on it.
In Montreal, Adriana Gentile, City News.